We all have days where we don't feel like doing what we want to do. But success doesn't come from waiting for motivation to strike. It comes from building habits and creating structure and staying disciplined even when you don't feel like it. And in this video, I'm breaking down 12 simple but powerful hacks to help you stay disciplined, crush your habits, and hit your goals consistently. These are practical strategies that work even on your toughest days. So let's dive in. Now, the first hack is to set clear and actionable goals. Now, this is a foundational element of discipline, as having clear goals guide your actions and your decisions. Now, discipline starts with clarity. If your goals are just vague ideas in your head, it's easy to lose focus. You've got to define what you're working toward. For example, if you say, I want to get in shape, that's a great starting point, but it's way too broad. Does that mean losing weight? Does that mean running faster? Does that mean lifting heavier? Without specifics, it's tough to stay on track. Also, don't just stop at setting a goal. You want to create a plan. So instead of saying, I want to be fit, try something concrete like, I'll work out for 30 minutes 5 days a week. So now it's no longer just an idea, it's a clear and actionable plan. You're removing the guesswork, which makes it way easier to follow through. Now, with this kind of a structure, you won't wake up wondering, should I work out today? Because you've already decided. 5 days a week for 30 minutes. It's that simple, it's achievable, and it keeps you moving towards your goal. Now, when you stick to your plan, something shifts. It's like you're training your mind to follow through, even whenever you don't feel like it. Now, there'll be days whenever you're tired, busy, or you just aren't in the mood, and that's totally normal. But having a plan keeps you grounded. You're not making decisions based off of how you feel in the moment. You're just following the plan. Over time, this consistency builds discipline. So it stops being a question of, should I do this? And it starts to become automatic. You just show up, you get it done, and then you move on. That's the secret to discipline. Instead of waiting for motivation to strike, you take small and consistent actions every day that then become your non-negotiables. So instead of a vague goal, get specific and write it down and then commit to it. That's how you build habits that stick and turn discipline into your superpower. So before we get to number 2, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop new videos every week to help you crush your goals and level up in life. Today's video is brought to you by Forecaster. Now, I created Forecaster after seeing entrepreneurs struggle with their financials. Many would refresh their bank accounts every day, they'd stress over cash flow, and they'd try to cobble together these clunky spreadsheets to try to understand their business. And when it came to fundraising, things got even harder, leading to confusing financial plans that really hurt their credibility with investors. That's why we built Forecaster. It's world-class software designed to make your numbers clear, attract investment, and to help you grow faster with the power of data. Plus, every customer is paired with an expert financial coach to guide them every step of the way. Click the link below for a free 30-minute discovery session with our team. If you're fit to move forward, we'll throw in a free 10 hours of analyst time, which covers the full cost of your onboarding into our software. Now, we only take 50 new customers per month, so claim your spot today. Spots are very limited. Now, our second hack is to create a routine and stick to a daily schedule. Now, a strong routine is a crucial part of staying disciplined because it eliminates decision fatigue and it creates consistency. It's like, I have this friend who's always saying he wants to be more productive, but here's how his mornings usually go. He wakes up, he grabs his phone, he scrolls through social media, and he spends like 20 minutes trying to figure out what to do next. And some days he'll work out, other days he skips it. Sometimes he starts his tasks early, other times he lets hours slip away. And at the end of the day, he's frustrated and he's wondering why he doesn't get anything done. The problem is he doesn't have any sort of a routine. So without a plan, everything does feel uncertain. You spend time trying to decide what to do, and whenever you're relying on motivation alone, it's easy to skip the tough stuff whenever you're not in a good mood. And routines totally take the guesswork out of the equation. They're the secret weapon of high achievers. Whether it's CEOs or athletes or artists, they all follow daily routines. Instead of willpower, you're creating a system that works for you. And here's why routines are so powerful. Research shows that about 40% of our daily actions are based on habits, not decisions. So by following a routine, you're conserving mental energy, cutting down on decision fatigue, and making discipline feel natural. So how do you start? Begin with a consistent wake-up time. It doesn't need to be at 3 a.m. like what you see on social media sometimes. What really matters is waking up the same time fairly early every day. If your schedule looks different day to day, adjust accordingly, but aim to take control of your mornings. The more consistent you are, the easier it becomes to follow through. So create a routine that works for you and commit to it. No overthinking, no second guessing, just action. action. And eventually, it won't even feel like a routine anymore. It'll just be a part of who you are. The third hack is simple, but it's incredibly effective. Just remove temptations. This is key to staying disciplined by creating an environment where distractions are minimized. Temptations are everywhere. Whether it's snacks calling your name from the kitchen, or endless scrolling on your phone, or that Netflix show that you've been meaning to binge, distractions are always going to compete for your attention. And if you don't address them up front, they'll derail your focus before you even realize it. Now, the good news is you don't have to rely on sheer willpower to stay on track. Discipline starts with setting yourself up for success by removing distractions ahead of time. For example, tools like Flow Time helps you use the Pomodoro technique to stay focused and productive while blocking websites that tend to eat up your time. I've used it myself, and they're game changers when I need to focus deeply. Another thing that works wonders is creating a distraction-free workspace. Now, I always make sure that my desk is clear and has what I need on my desk for the task at hand. Nothing extra to steal my attention. And when I'm working on something that requires complete focus, I take it a step further and I leave my phone in another room. Now, that one simple move has saved me countless hours of lost productivity. And speaking of phones, notifications might be the biggest culprit of all. Now, they're designed to grab your attention, and before you know it, you're knee-deep in a group chat instead of actually crushing your goals. Now, my solution is to use the Do Not Disturb mode. Only my team can get through if it's urgent. Everyone else can wait. It's a small change that can really make a huge difference in staying present and focused. So by taking these steps, removing distractions before they have a chance to interrupt, you're going to make discipline feel totally effortless. It's amazing how much easier it is to stick to your goals whenever the temptations aren't in your way. And that brings us to the fourth hack, which is track your progress. Now, tracking progress is more about accountability and motivation, which feeds into maintaining discipline. It's easy to lose sight of your progress, especially when the steps forward feel small. And that's why tracking can make such a big difference. It helps you turn those little efforts into something actually tangible. When you see even small wins adding up, it builds momentum and it keeps you motivated. For me, I like using a bullet journal to track personal goals like writing or fitness. It's simple, but every time I check off a task, whether it's something small like drinking enough water or something bigger like finishing up a project, it reminds me that I'm actually moving forward. At the end of each week, I take time to reflect on what's working and what's not. And this helps me tweak my approach so that I'm not wasting time on strategies that aren't effective. So tracking makes that progress visible. Whether you prefer a journal or an app or just a notepad, the key is to create a system that works for you. So celebrate all the small wins and let them fuel your motivation and your discipline to keep going. Over time, you're going to see just how far you've come. The fifth hack is to remember to take regular breaks. Now, this aligns with discipline in the sense of being mindful of your mental and physical well-being so that you can stay consistent over the long term. We often think that being disciplined means grinding away non-stop, but if you do that for too long, you're going to burn out pretty quickly. When you push yourself without taking breaks, your focus starts to slip and your productivity takes a dive. And that's why it's so important to take breaks. Research actually shows that short, planned breaks can boost your productivity. For example, there's a study out of the University of Illinois that found that your brain starts to lose focus after about 90 minutes of work. And that's why I take quick 5 to 10 minute breaks every single hour, usually going through the Pomodoro technique. It helps me clear my head and refresh my energy so that I can dive back into work with more focus. Now, personally, I usually step away from my desk for a short walk during these breaks. That gives me a chance to clear my thoughts and re-energize. And if you find yourself feeling stuck or getting drained, I would definitely recommend trying that. Just stepping outside or taking a walk around the block can make a huge difference. But here's the thing, your breaks need to be intentional. So scrolling through your phone or binge watching Netflix won't cut it. Those activities will pull you into distractions and mess with your focus. So instead, try something simple like stretching or taking a few deep breaths or just moving around. These kinds of breaks are going to help your brain reset so you're ready to focus again. Now, it's not just about taking a break, it's about how you use them. A quick and purposeful break is all it takes to maintain discipline and stay on track. Now, the sixth hack is to get enough sleep. Now, sleep is essential for maintaining both physical and mental discipline as it affects focus, mood, and energy level. When you're well rested, your body and mind just seem to work better. There's this natural sense of refreshment and energy when you wake up after a good night's sleep. Personally, I notice such a difference whenever I'm well rested. My thoughts feel clearer and I'm ready to take on the day with way more focus. Now, those little distractions that tend to throw me off don't nearly seem as disruptive. When you're well rested, sticking to your routine becomes so much easier. Your brain processes everything just a little bit faster, and suddenly tasks that once seemed overwhelming all of a sudden feel way more manageable. On the flip side, when you don't get enough rest, everything is harder. You might feel sluggish, your focus might slip, and even the simplest task can feel frustrating. Now, I've been there. There are days that I don't sleep well, and it seems like I can barely get anything done. I'd keep putting things off and I'd feel drained and I'd lose motivation. That's why sleep really should be a priority. You recharge your mind and body so that you can tackle your goals and be clear in a focused mindset. Setting a consistent bedtime and honoring your body's need for rest will set you up for success, and that'll help you stay disciplined and move closer to your goals with more ease. You deserve the rest that you need. The 7th hack is to set personal boundaries. Learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals is a key aspect of discipline. So this is honestly one of the most powerful steps that you can take. You're not being rigid or shutting yourself off from others. You're protecting your energy and giving yourself the space to focus on your most important goals. So we all have those moments where we feel like we're pulled in a million different directions. And that can be work, family, friends, or those little distractions that seem harmless, but they really quickly add up. And before you know it, you're left with very little time and energy for things that actually matter. That's where personal boundaries come in. They're a form of self-respect, a way of saying, my time is valuable and I'm going to protect it so that I can show up to do the best that I can. When you're setting boundaries, you're creating the space you need to stay focused on your goals and make progress. Boundaries allow you to say no whenever you need to so that you can say yes to the things that actually matter. Now, this can mean saying no to a meeting that doesn't serve you or giving yourself permission to step back from a project that you need a break on. Now, I know from personal experience how challenging it can be to honor these boundaries, especially whenever you want to help others or feel like you're letting someone down. But the truth is, honoring your own boundaries helps you show up better in all areas of life. Research from the American Psychological Association highlight that when we respect our own limits, we experience less stress and burnout and ultimately more satisfaction with the work that we're doing. And that's what staying disciplined is all about: showing up, feeling balanced, and doing your best without overextending yourself. The 8th hack is to limit your social media usage. So social media can be a huge distraction, so limiting it helps reinforce focus and discipline. These platforms are literally built to be addictive, using psychological tactics that tap into our brain's reward system. Features like infinite scrolling remove natural stopping points, personalized algorithms keep your feed in a constant tailored to your interest, and intermittent rewards such as unpredictable likes or notifications keeps you coming back for more. Even elements like social validation and reciprocity play a role, making you feel compelled to engage further. Every aspect of these platforms is meticulously crafted to hold your attention for as long as possible, often at the expense of your focus and productivity. I totally get how easy it is to lose track of time. You check one post and suddenly an hour passes by without you even realizing it. That's an hour that you could have used to make progress on your goals. Now, studies actually show that too much screen time can actually shorten our attention spans and make it harder to stay focused on tasks that actually matter. And that's a source from Harvard Health. That's why I try to limit my social media use, setting boundaries for myself. Instead of casually checking my phone all throughout the day, I schedule specific times for social media. This way, I stay in control of my life, rather than letting the app's algorithm decide whenever I check in. Every notification is like a mini interruption. It breaks your focus and it pulls you back into an endless scroll. So to avoid this, I turn off all non-essential notifications. If something is truly important, I check it on my own time, not the moment that it happens. It's freeing knowing that I don't need to be glued to my phone to stay informed. Another way that I stay in control is by curating my social media feeds. I follow accounts that add actual value to my life, whether that's content that motivates me, teaches me something new, or just inspires me. My feed is filled with success stories, business tips, and insights that push me towards my goals. If I come across something that drains me of my energy or distracts me, I take action, whether it's unfollowing the account or muting a post or simply selecting not interested whenever a random comment appears. The less time you spend on social media, the more time you'll have to work on building something meaningful for yourself. Prioritizing your goals over your timeline is going to help you create a healthier and more disciplined routine. The 9th hack is to surround yourself with disciplined people. Being around others who model discipline can inspire and push you to be more disciplined yourself. Surrounding yourself with focused, consistent, and goal-driven people can be one of the most powerful ways to stay disciplined. Their habits, mindset, and energy are naturally going to influence you in a positive way. When you spend time with individuals who stick to their routines and who honor their commitments and push through challenges, it inspires you to do the same. You're going to find it easier to stay on track with your own goals because you're part of a routine that encourages growth. Personally, I've experienced this firsthand. For instance, whenever I spend time with friends who prioritize fitness, I'm way more likely to choose healthier food options and stick to my exercise routine. It's not even a conscious effort. It just becomes part of the environment that I'm in. I hold myself to a higher standard whenever I know that the people around me are committed to their goal. Another huge benefit of being around disciplined people is accountability. If you have an accountability partner, you'll probably find yourself more committed to keeping your word if you're checking in with somebody else. If you feel like the people around you aren't supporting your growth, it's okay to reassess your circle. Take a moment to think about who you spend your time with and how they influence influence your habits. You can then see and choose the people who you'd like to spend more or less time with. And if you don't have a circle of disciplined people around you, don't worry. There are plenty of ways to find inspiration. You can look for mentors online, or read books, or listen to podcasts and people who inspire you. I found that learning from people that I've never even met can have a huge impact on my mindset. The people that you follow and the content that you consume shape how you think, act, and live. So make sure you surround yourself with the right influences. When you do, discipline becomes second nature. So those are the 9 hacks to help you stay disciplined. Now, if you want to learn my blueprint for becoming a millionaire, click this link here and I'll see you over there.